Welcome back. I'm Cheryl, the Queen of Green, and today we are going to stuff our cash binders based on our budget preparation. So if you watched me prepare the budget for that follower from Greenley, Colorado, we're now going to take their budget and cash stuff it. So now the entire budget has been prepared. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go back to the paycheck budget. Not only did we find how much our surplus was, but we also identified which of our expenses we were going to use in our cash stuffing system. So now we're going back to the paycheck budget in order to cash stuff. When we originally added everything up, that helped us to identify what our surplus was, but we also made an indication of which of our expenses were going to be used for our cash envelope system. This paycheck budget has $1,634 of their $3,133 worth of expenses that they're going to cash stuff. So the first thing that they would do is go to the bank and take out $1,634. We have our cash props right here so that we can go ahead and do our demonstration. We're then going to go and get our fixed and our variable expenses. We're then going to take a look at the budget and find out which of these expenses are going to fall in our fixed. So the $730 for their half of the mortgage is going to go into their fixed expenses. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to count out the $730. And then we're going to take that $730, come over to our fixed expenses binder, and then we are going to stuff it. So you can use this even if it is on auto draft. So for example, this client's mortgage payment is on auto draft. However, they don't have enough money to cover the mortgage during this half of the month with this paycheck based on all of their other expenses. So in order for them to always have a surplus and not have a deficit during one half of the month, they're going to have to intentionally allocate half of their mortgage every 2 weeks. So she put the $730 in here now, and then in 2 weeks, she'll have the other half of her mortgage, and then she'll be able to deposit this half back in, and the money will be there to pull. And then we're going to go ahead and we are going to do all the rest of our expenses. So the fuel is going to get $90. 50, 70, 90. And then we're going to take that money and put it right inside for the fuel. Car repairs is 58. And then I'm also going to put the registration money in there as well. Now, if they took out the exact amount, the $1,634, then you're going to need to make sure that you use the exact amount, which also means that before you go to the bank, you're going to have to determine how many hundreds, 50s, 20s, 10s, 5s, and 1s that you're going to need in order to do all your cash stuffing. I'm actually going to go back to the fixed expenses, and I'm going to put the $37. And I'm going to put that $37 in this other, because that's for maintenance of their house. So that's money that's not really going to be touched, but it's there just in case something happens. The next one is going to be groceries. So we have one for groceries and we have one for dining out. I'm going to put just the groceries in here. So it's 250. So I'm going to do 125 because this is supposed to be 2 weeks. And then I'm going to do another 125. That way then they have the exact amount when they go to the grocery store. That's how I would recommend doing that. Not take 250, but instead take exactly what you're budgeting for. So if you're budgeting $125 a week, make sure that you have $125 in here for the groceries. Oh, we put it in the wrong one. It goes in this one. Now the dining out, I'm going to do the same thing. The dining out is $50 and the lunches are $25. So I'm going to take the $50 and I'm going to take the $20 and the $5. Now I could have broken down the $50 into two $20s and a $10 or any other denomination that I wanted. But I don't know about you. What I've found is that when I have larger bills, I tend to not want to spend them. I don't want to break them. So maybe this would be an incentive to help you keep on track. So that might be somewhat of an incentive to help you curve back some of that dining out spending. Okay, the pet food is $29. So if this was my budget, I would probably just round that up to $30. However, the reason why I'm going to stick and show you exactly how to do it dollar for dollar right now is because they really don't have a large surplus. So if after you've prepared your paycheck budget, you're in a similar situation where you have a very small surplus, then you're going to have to be specific to the dollar when you're actually cash stuffing. So I'm going to put the 29 in. Now, all of the medical is right here, and that's going to go, it has its own. So I'm just going to add up the $89. So I have all $89, and I'm going to put all of that into the medical envelope. If you wanted to utilize the budget sheets so that you could put each specific item listed for the dollar amount, you can. Your budget is specifying how much is going to each. As long as you make sure you stay within the $89, it doesn't really matter. So now we're going to go back to the pet because there's another $30 for the pet. So in this case, I'm going to do the 20 and the 10. Put that in there. And then we've got hair. So for hair, they've got $68. Self-care, she has $25. So we're going to take that $25 and stuff that in there. And then incidentals, which we know is my safety net recommendation to making sure that you stay on budget. Okay, so incidentals is money that is kind of quote unquote free money that you are going to budget with, that you're going to budget within your budget. So that way then if something pops up, you have the money put aside to do that. So I'm going to take two 50s and then two 20s. So she has 140 every 2 weeks, which is $70. And that's it. All of her envelopes are now packaged and ready to go. And she would set them aside. And now when she goes out to the grocery store, she can take her variable expense binder with her, or she can just take out her budgeted amount for groceries or whichever and go shopping with that. And it's that simple. Now, $1,634 of these expenses have been already stuffed in her cash binders. She just needs to make sure that she sticks to her budgeted amount. All the remaining money is going to stay in her bank account because it's on automatic payments. If you want more on how to create the budget, make sure you go back and check out the video of how I prepared their budget from start to finish using my 6-step approach. And make sure that you subscribe and continue watching for more savings challenges, budgeting help, and money tips.